There comes a moment in every human life when the ordinary can no longer satisfy the hunger of the heart. That moment is a spark, a surge of energy that tells you there is something greater waiting for you. It is the voice within that says, "You are destined for more." That is where the journey of high achievement begins. High achievers are not born different. They are ordinary people who have chosen to listen to that inner voice and obey its call. They are people who refuse to be imprisoned by doubt, hesitation, or fear. They see life not as a burden, but as an arena, a stage where greatness is waiting to be performed. The mindset of high achievers is built upon clarity. They begin with a vision that burns so strongly within them that every action, every sacrifice, every ounce of effort is directed toward it. Vision gives meaning to pain, and vision gives strength to endurance. When a person can see where they are going, the hardships of the road lose their power. Obstacles become stepping stones, and setbacks become lessons. Those who achieve at the highest level have trained their minds to focus on the destination rather than the detours. Yet vision alone is not enough. High achievers cultivate a standard of discipline that separates them from the majority. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. It is the willingness to act when the excitement has faded, when the applause has gone silent, when the comfort of rest whispers louder than the demand of duty. High achievers rise before the sun. They work while others sleep. They study while others are distracted. They practice when others complain. This is not because they enjoy hardship, but because they know that excellence is never accidental. Excellence is the offspring of daily effort multiplied over time. There is something magnetic about those who achieve greatly. They radiate confidence, not arrogance, but a certainty that they are on the path of purpose. That confidence is not borrowed from external praise, but forged in the fire of inner commitment. They have spoken to themselves in the silence of the night. They have promised themselves that they will not stop. They have sworn in their hearts that they will not be defeated. Such a promise becomes unbreakable, and it transforms their character. What sets high achievers apart is also their capacity to endure isolation. The path to greatness is often lonely because it requires choices that separate one from the crowd. It means refusing the comfort of conformity and choosing the pain of growth. It means turning away from easy pleasures in order to embrace a higher calling. Friends may misunderstand, society may criticize, but high achievers accept that misunderstanding as the price of distinction. They would rather walk alone in truth than march together in mediocrity. The mindset of high achievers is also fueled by an unshakable belief in possibility. They look at challenges not as barriers, but as invitations. While others say it cannot be done, they ask, how can it be done? They do not wait for perfect conditions. They act in imperfect ones. They do not demand certainty. They move with courage. Their faith in possibility opens doors that fear would forever keep shut. History has never remembered those who surrendered to limitation, but it always celebrates those who dared to defy it. In every field, whether in science, sports, art, or business, those who rise to greatness are united by this conviction: progress is not reserved for the lucky. It is claimed by the determined. They know that luck may open a door, but only preparation allows one to walk through it. They know that talent may set the stage, but only persistence writes the script of success. They know that intelligence may design the plan, only action breathes life into it. High achievement is never a single event. It is a lifetime of decisions, small and large, that move a person toward their highest potential. Right? And so, as we begin to uncover the mindset of high achievers, let us recognize this truth. Greatness is not beyond us. It is within us. The very fact that we can dream is proof that we can achieve. The seed of potential lives in every human heart, waiting for the decision to water it. The journey is difficult, but the reward is destiny. High achievers know that the cost is high, but they also know that the value is immeasurable. High achievers never consider themselves finished products. They may have climbed great mountains, but in their vision, there is always another peak. This hunger for growth separates them from those who stop once they reach a comfortable level. Comfort has destroyed more dreams than failure ever has. High achievers understand that the moment they settle, they begin to decline. They live by the principle that yesterday's success cannot guarantee tomorrow's relevance. High achievers are students of life. They absorb knowledge wherever it is found. They learn from mentors. They study competitors. They analyze failures, and they refine their craft with obsessive focus. They do not fear mistakes, for mistakes are simply data. Each error whispers a lesson, and each lesson fuels future progress. To them, failure is not shameful. Only stagnation is. They live with the conviction that the only true failure is the refusal to rise after falling. Another core element of the high achiever's mind is responsibility. They do not blame circumstances. They do not point fingers. They do not waste energy in excuses. They embrace ownership of their actions, their choices, and their future. When storms arise, they do not curse the wind. They adjust their sails. When doors close, they do not sit in despair. They find another entrance. This responsibility creates power because it places destiny back into their hands. The moment a person takes full ownership of their life, they stop being a victim and begin being a victor. High achievers are also driven by contribution. They understand that greatness is not measured by what is gathered, but by what is given. The most fulfilled lives are not those that accumulate wealth, fame, or possessions, but those that pour value into the world. A true high achiever leaves a legacy, not just a record. They measure success not only by personal triumph, but by the lives they uplift, the communities they strengthen, and the generations they inspire. And one cannot speak of the mindset of high achievers without mentioning their energy. High achievers guard their energy as treasure. They understand that energy is more valuable than time, for one can have time yet wasted through lethargy. They feed their bodies with strength, their minds with wisdom, and their spirits with purpose. They refuse to drown in negativity. They refuse to let toxic influences drain their power. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, environments that inspire them, and goals that stretch them. There is also the element of persistence. High achievers continue when others quit. They move forward when others retreat. They keep pushing when the mountain seems unmovable. Person is the hidden engine of success, the silent force that keeps the wheel turning when momentum is lost. High achievers understand that consistency beats intensity, and daily effort beats occasional brilliance. A single act of greatness is admirable, but a lifetime of steady effort builds legacies that echo through history. It is worth recognizing that high achievers are not immune to fear, doubt, or pain. They feel them deeply, but they do not bow to them. They acknowledge fear, yet move forward. They accept doubt, yet take action. They experience pain, yet continue the journey. This is not denial, but mastery. High achievers do not wait for perfect courage. They act in the presence of fear. They do not wait for flawless confidence. They build it through motion. They do not wait for strength to arrive. They create it through discipline. The second part of the mindset of high achievers is this: they live in constant forward motion. While others stop to complain, they advance. While others wait for permission, they create. While others surrender to discouragement, they sharpen their focus. They may rest, but they never retire from growth. They may pause, but they never quit. Their lives are an unfolding journey of becoming, a masterpiece that is never finished, yet always inspiring. The final dimension of the mindset of high achievers is their mastery of vision, identity, and legacy. High achievers see not only who they are, but who they can become. They live from the future back, painting a clear image of their destiny and then aligning their present actions to match it. Vision becomes their compass, guiding every step with clarity and purpose. High achievers also build identity. They do not allow external voices to dictate their worth. They declare who they are, they define their own character, and they live by their own principles. This unshakable identity becomes their anchor in storms and their lighthouse in darkness. They know that true power comes not from titles or positions, but from the consistency of one's character. Above all, high achievers think beyond themselves. They understand that life is too short to live for applause and too great to live for selfish gain. They strive to leave behind a legacy that outlives their years. They ask, what impact will my life make when my voice is silent? What difference will remain when my days are done? This question fuels their passion, sharpens their focus, and expands their influence. Their legacy is not always found in monuments or riches. Sometimes it is in the smile of a child they inspired, the courage of a colleague they encouraged, the wisdom of a book they wrote, or the transformation of a community they uplifted. High achievers know that greatness is not only about personal triumph, but about creating ripples that reach beyond one's lifetime. It must also be said that high achievers cultivate gratitude. They understand that ambition without gratitude becomes emptiness. They celebrate progress whilst they honor those who help them, and they acknowledge the opportunities they have been given. Gratitude keeps the fire of achievement pure, free from arrogance and pride. It reminds them that their climb is not only for themselves, but for others. Finally, the mindset of high achievers is marked by courage to dream boldly. They dare to attempt what others fear. They aim for heights that others mock. They reach for stars that others call impossible. Their courage is not blind recklessness, but a deliberate decision to trust in the greatness within. This courage makes them pioneers, innovators, and leaders. It ensures that history remembers their names, not because they followed, but because they dared to lead. And now, as we stand at the conclusion of this exploration into the mindset of high achievers, let us remember this. Greatness is not reserved for a select. The qualities that define high achievers are available to all who choose them. Discipline, vision, growth, contribution, courage, persistence, gratitude, and legacy. These are not gifts bestowed at, the time has come for you to step into this mindset. Do not wait for permission, for none is required. Do not wait for perfect conditions, for they may never arrive. Do not wait for approval, for greatness is self-declared. Today decide that you will no longer live as a spectator, but as a participant in the grand stage of achievement. Today, promise yourself that you will climb your mountain, no matter how high, no matter how steep. Today, believe that within you lies a fire capable of lighting the world. So I say to you, rise with vision, live with discipline, walk with courage, give with generosity, and strive with unyielding commitment. Let your story be one of action, one of purpose, one of legacy. The mindset of high achievers is not about what you have. It is about who you choose to become. And if you choose today to embrace this mindset, then you will not only change your own life, you will inspire generations to come. The world is waiting for your greatness. Step forward, claim it, live it, and let your life shine as a beacon of what is possible when a human being decides to achieve at the highest level.